Today on BRS TV we have our BRS media reactors. Media reactors are the best way to utilize carbon and GFO in the aquarium. Carbon will keep the water crystal clear as well as remove many of the contaminants, and the GFO will remove the phosphate and help you fight plague algae growth. The unique design of the BRS reactor ensures that the water properly flows through the system as many times a day and is way more efficient than a typical filter sock. The design on the BRS reactor is incredibly simple. Simply unscrew your canister, remove the cartridge, unscrew the bottom, add your media into the cartridge, and replace back into the canister. It's important that the reactor doesn't leak, so we're using a heavy-duty 80 psi canister, even though we're going to only operate it at about 2 psi. There's also heavy-duty double O-ring swivel push connect fittings. They're not only leak-free, but they're also very easy to use. Installation is incredibly easy. You're going to locate the feed line, which has the push connect union, slide it directly onto your MaxiJet feed pump, and then you have your return line. Place both of them into your tank or your sump. You can actually mount the entire unit onto a wall or directly into your cabinet, or because of the all-plastic design, you can actually set it right down in the sump itself if you like. On a lot of reactors, changing out the media can be a lot of work and a total mess. It's one of the main features about the BRS reactor that everybody likes is when it comes time to change your media, you can just unscrew the canister, walk it over to the sink, take out your cartridge, dump out your media, refill, and bring it back. This whole process takes about 2 or 3 minutes, and frankly, because it's so easy, you're more likely to do it. We have a few different reactors on our site. We have the standard single, the deluxe single, a dual, as well as a jumbo. The main difference between the standard and the deluxe is on the standard, the bracket is screwed onto the head of the unit, whereas in the deluxe, it has a heavy-duty integrated bracket, which is built into the head and almost indestructible. There's also a pressure relief on top. Comes with a couple of elbow push connect fittings, which helps you reroute the hoses. And many people like the attractive black styling. A single reactor, if you're going to use it with only carbon or only GFO, will be good for about a 120-gallon tank or less. If you're going to use both medias with carbon on the top and GFO on the bottom, it's good for about a 50-gallon tank. We also have a dual reactor, which is good for tanks up to about 120 gallons. It has a separate cartridge for both the GFO as well as the carbon, and convenient because it allows you to change them out at separate times. Over 2 singles, it has some advantages. One is it's more compact than 2 of them. It's also significantly less expensive than 2 and only requires 1 pump. We're often asked what's better, a dual reactor or 2 singles. It really comes down to what your priorities are. If your priority is to have the least expensive unit that takes up the smallest amount of space, it's definitely going to be the dual. If your priority is to have the least amount of maintenance, it's definitely going to be 2 singles. The reason I say that about the maintenance is on a dual reactor, the carbon chamber can get clogged up from floating debris from your tank. As it gets clogged, it slows down the flow rate through the unit and the GFO stops tumbling. Because we need the GFO to tumble, we're going to need to periodically turn up the flow rate using the ball valve to get the flow back up and get it tumbling again. We don't have that problem with the singles because they're not interlinked and they operate independently. The GFO tends to not get clogged because the debris tumbles through it and back out the top, and the flow rate doesn't need to be as precise with the carbon because long contact time and slow flow rates is actually ideal for carbon anyway. For me, I'm always looking for the lowest maintenance option because I don't like tinkering with anything, and 2 singles is definitely going to be the best option for me and what we recommend for most people. Lastly, we have our jumbo BRS reactor, which can use carbon or GFO, but not both at the same time. It is good for a tank up to the size of about 400 gallons. If you enjoyed this video and would like to be notified when we make new additions to BRS TV, simply double-click on the video itself, which will open up a new window with our YouTube homepage. Locate and click on the yellow subscribe button. You'll now be notified via email anytime we make a new BRS video. Thank you for watching BRS TV.